Hey, Randy. Sorry didn't notice your messages. So you have a favor to ask me? What is it?
Sorry to have to ask you this, Sweet Cheeks, but I really need some money.
What? Again? What is it this time? I'm not getting you another new phone, if it's that again. I just got you a new one last year. You can get at least another 2 years out of that one.
It's not my phone.
What is it then? A game? I just got you a new game for your birthday. I'm not getting you any more games, Randy.
Not for a game.
What do you want it for then? I'm sorry, but we're not in any position to be buying luxuries. We need to tighten our belts a little.
The favor isn't for me, it's for my mom.
Your mom needs money? Why? What happened?
It's the house. It's approaching its best before date, if you catch my drift. She won't be able to carry on living there much longer at this rate. It's been falling to bits for a while now. One day it'll be a door coming off its hinges, the next the hot water will just stop working for no reason. What's more, the roof's been leaking like crazy ever since the typhoon a few months back.
Really? I had no idea. That typhoon was nuts. They said the wind speeds were once in a century on the news. I honestly thought our windows were gonna be put out. I'm not surprised it did lasting damage to your mom's place.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, she's been asking me to help since a few years back now. It's not like I'm good at DIY, and I didn't really see exactly what I could do for her, so I always said no. But this time that place is really a disaster waiting to happen. I'd feel awful if I didn't help her fix it up and she had an accident. House is a death trap.
So you mean she needs some money to fix the leaky roof?
This is the thing. Fixing the roof would only be the beginning. There's just so much wrong with the place, I think we need to take some more drastic measures. Honestly, I think it's time for a renovation. The problem is, me and my mom don't have any money. I hate to ask you this, but would you mind giving us a little something out of your savings? You saved a lot back when you were single, right?
Me?
Oh, please, Jessica, you're the only one we can count on. It's not just the leaks themselves either. Mom says the roof's full of mold because of all the water, and you know how dangerous it can be to breathe that stuff in. I'm seriously worried about it. We have to do something about that house.
A renovation, huh? A house that old is gonna need a lot of work doing on it. Renovations that big don't come cheap.
You're not wrong. It's almost 80 years old now. It's a miracle it made it this long without having any major work done. Nothing lasts forever, though. I think all the plumbing's probably gonna have to be replaced, too.
Probably. I wonder if my savings will even cover it?
Come on, babe. I bet you'd have enough money to buy a house from scratch if you wanted to. How much could a renovation of my mom's place hurt? I bet you'll barely even feel it, and my mom will be over the moon. Besides, we'd only be borrowing it. You'd get it all back eventually. So what do you say, babe? Look, I'm begging you here. She said me and you are welcome to move in with her after it's all done.
Wow, really? Your mom said that?
She was the one who suggested it, actually. I think she might be lonely without my dad around. Anyway, don't forget me and you will be inheriting the place one day. Think about it. Living there could be just what we need. We get to save money on rent, we can keep my mom company, and we can get used to living in our future home. I only see benefits. You always dreamed of us having our own home, right?
I see. I never thought she'd let us live with her. I guess that does change things. You know what? In that case, let's do it. So who's gonna be doing the renovation? Know any good companies?
We haven't decided yet. We need to do some research and get a feel for what the market price on that kind of thing is first. Actually, now that you mention it, we're hoping you could find us someone. Yeah, don't you have any connections from your old job? You used to work for a construction company, right? Yeah, I wouldn't know the first thing about building houses. You see stories on TV all the time about cowboy builders ripping people off by doing a shoddy job and disappearing with the cash.
I was just a receptionist. I guess there are a few people I can ask, though. There's no risk of running into any shady types if I ask around at my old company.
You're the best. You have no idea. I want to come over and give you a nice big sloppy kiss right now, sweet cheeks. My mom's gonna be ecstatic when she hears the news. Now she can finally start living like a normal human being again for the first time in years. I always felt uneasy about having her live all on her own in that dilapidated old house. I couldn't shake the feeling I'd failed her as a son.
I don't mean to be rude or anything, but to tell you the truth, it always seemed more like a haunted house than a home to me.
You can say that again. You have no idea how much I hate going in the summer. I've never seen somewhere so riddled with cockroaches. She even had a family of raccoons living in the attic one time. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see the little rascals with my own eyes.
I always felt so uneasy on the stairs because they're so steep. It's a miracle she managed to get by her own there all this time.
No kidding. Like I said, she's been talking about renovating the place for a while now. But the money dried up when my dad's business went bust. They didn't have the leeway to fix up the house because they were so preoccupied with putting food on the table month to month.
You did say she had a rough time of it in the past.
My mom's always been good to me. And I wanted to have the whole place renovated on my own dime as a way of thanking her for everything she's done, but my salary isn't exactly big league. Like, it feels pathetic to say it, but I don't even have any savings. That's why I'm super grateful for you, babe. I mean it. I can't thank you enough for this. Huh? You're off work today, right? Did you go out somewhere?
Did you just wake up? I got a call from the construction company, so I'm heading out to talk some things through with them. They said when they started taking the house apart, the supports and foundations were a lot more water damaged than they expected. They said they wanted to discuss where we go from here.
Yeah, I knew it. So it's rotten to the core. I guess it was naive of me to think everything would be fine after all this time. It's plain to see how messed up the floor was. It's not that hard to imagine it would have seeped through to the foundation.
The guy told me the entire thing would have to be ripped up and replaced. Obviously, it's not going to come cheap, though. He told me to be ready for the possibility of it coming to a lot more than we first expected. Apparently, they have a system where they can get secondhand materials at a discount price. That's what he wants to talk to me about today.
I see. Not gonna lie, I don't understand any of this, babe, so I'm just gonna leave it to you.
I explained everything to your mom, too. She said she wouldn't be coming either. Are you guys sure about this? This is her house we're talking about, and it's gonna be yours one day. Are you sure you don't want to hear what the construction company has to say?
It's not that we don't want to hear them out, it's just that we've got such a high level of trust in your ability to deal with this and see to it that my mom gets the renovation of her dreams, that we don't see any point in coming. Besides, you know everything we want doing with the place, and you worked in construction, so you're a lot more knowledgeable about all this than we are.
I already told you I worked on reception. I really think you should both listen to what they have to say, Randy.
Even if we did listen, what then? I'm not exaggerating when I say we know literally nothing about construction. They may as well be speaking a different language. It would just be a waste of mine and my mom's time. A receptionist picks up a lot of info about a workplace. But besides, you were there for a long time. You may not realize it, but your brain is a treasure trove of construction knowledge.
I'm not sure exactly what you think a receptionist does, but I can assure you I know next to nothing about the actual work itself. I mostly dealt with appointments and administrative stuff.
That still makes you a damn sight more in the know than me. Look, I'd probably only complicate things the second I open my mouth. You don't need me in your hair, babe. Things will go a lot more smoothly without me. Besides, you're the one paying for everything. It's gonna be your house one day. You can make these decisions on your own.
I'll still be anxious about moving things forward without any input from you. Anyway, my house? What are you talking about? I think you mean it's gonna be our house, not mine. I have a stake in this, and you should listen to what the construction company has to say.
Ah, jeez. Would you just drop it already? You're like a broken record. Look, you're my wife. It's a wife's job to deal with all things house-related. Like, sure you want to be the one to decide on the floor of the layout, since you're going to be the one doing the housework. I don't know jack about that.
Sure, I'd like to have a say in that. But still, deciding everything alone?
Relax. I said it's fine. Look, you have amazing taste, babe. I know that whatever you decide on will turn out great. You know what me and my mom want, so using that as your basis, mix in your own natural genius and talent and do something amazing with the place. I'm giving you full creative license.
I'm just gonna tell them what you and your mom said.
Okay, just make sure you tell them so they do something amazing with the place. We're counting on you.
Don't you think this is getting a little... I have no idea you'd palm off an entire job on me like this. How is it fair that I have the weight of something this important on my shoulders? The least you can give me is some input.
I'm not palming anything off on you, babe. Don't be so dramatic. We just have a lot of faith in you.
That's a clever way of saying you're making me do everything. Would it really hurt you, or your mom, to help me out just a little bit on this? It's not like I'm asking you to do anything major. Whoopee! I'm finally on my way to my new house. Thanks for all your hard work, Jessica dear. You're a star. Your savings have been indispensable in turning that worn-out old shack into the home of my dreams. Is this how you treat your daughter-in-law, who just paid to have your entire house renovated? To think you announced your son's divorcing me on the day we were both supposed to move in with you. You're horrible. Was this your plan all along? To use me to get what you wanted, and then toss me by the wayside when you're done? Aw, I don't like your word choice, dear. Use and lost by the wayside made me sound very unpleasant, which I am of course not. But my son was fully on board when I told him to divorce you. Thanks for paying for the renovation on my house. Next up, a new daughter-in-law. I knew it. You were using me for my savings to get your house fixed up all along, weren't you? You and Randy make me sick. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Thanks for saving up so hard. It's only right you use that money to make your husband and his family happy. That is your job as his wife, after all, dear. Is getting kicked out and divorced part of my job as his wife, too? You got some nerve. Why, yes, dear. Since you ask, yes it is. Wake up and smell the coffee. You have no value to us beyond your savings account. It's time for us to say our final goodbyes. You ugly cave troll. I'll see to it that Randy picks someone better looking next time. Actually, that won't do. He never did have good taste in women. There's nothing else for it. I'll have to find your replacement myself. You're enjoying every second of this, aren't you? I see you and my husband are just as stupid as each other. Have you still not noticed? Stupid? How dare you speak to me like that, you insolent little cretin? Noticed what? Did you really think I didn't figure out your scheme? I can read you like a book. I figured out you're only using me for my savings a long time ago. You did? Well, good for you, darling. Congratulations. So what? This changes nothing. The divorce is already set in stone, and no amount of kicking or screaming will change that. Stop being a sore loser and accept your fate. Please, I could care less about the divorce. In fact, there's nothing I want more. I have no intention of clinging to a low life like him. I will promise you one thing, though. You're not going to be laughing for long. I suggest you prepare yourself for what's coming, Jill. What does that mean? Are you threatening me? I couldn't help but feel like there was something fishy going on when you left the entire renovation on your house to me. It played on my mind. So I decided to take a look at Randy's phone while he wasn't looking. And what do you know? I realized exactly what was going on the moment I saw yours and his message history. You were snooping on my son? You vile creep! You're messed up in the head, you paranoid freak! You probably should have been so brazenly arrogant about what you were doing to me in those messages. Now I have no choice but to take a few retaliatory measures of my own. Retaliatory measures? What does that even mean? Now, what do I care? There's nothing you could possibly do to us now. The renovation is already finished. You have no power over us. You're right. The renovation is finished. Your new house is ready and waiting for you. I really think you should go take a look. What's that supposed to mean? No time to waste. Go on, Jill. Hurry up and go home. I can't wait to see your reactions. What have you done? This is my house? That's the reaction I was waiting for. You're behind this, aren't you? Yep. You and Randy are gonna be living there starting today. Welcome to your new home. I wish you a life of happiness and comfort. What the hell is wrong with you? I can't live in a house like this. The renovation's not even finished. It most definitely is. You're looking at the finished product. How can it be finished when the construction's only halfway done? You call this a renovation? Are you serious? It looks like it's ready for demolition. You guys said I could do whatever I wanted with the place. So I did just that. Exactly what I wanted. Forget wallpaper. These walls haven't even been insulated. It's just a skeleton. There's not a single door in the house. Even the front door is gone. This house isn't fit for a dog to live in, let alone me and my son. It's cool though. Don't panic. There's method to the madness. Randy told me he wanted to go for a stylish theme. So I did some thinking, and that's when it hit me. There's nothing more stylish than minimalism these days. What I did with your place is obviously a more extreme form of minimalism, but that just makes it all the more stylish. Things like doors, windows, and insulation are nothing but leftover of a bygone age. You just don't get houses that innovative. You're gonna be the talk of the town. Leftovers of a bygone age? But we need those things! What in God's name have you done to my house? You have no right to complain after leaving everything to me. You have plenty of opportunities to have a say in the design. Not just you, but Randy too. It was nothing but, we're counting on you, Jessica, from start to finish. I tried and begged and pleaded to get you to take some kind of active role, even if only a small role, but it was like I was talking to a brick wall. If you don't like how it turned out, then you should have overseen the renovation your damn selves. You could have at least showed up once in a while to check up how things were going. The fact you only just noticed despite the fact the builders have been working on it for months makes this completely and utterly 100% your fault. No, I simply cannot go along with this. Call the builders. Tell them to come back. Get them to finish what they started. They have a legal responsibility to do what you hired them to do. You're right. They do. But they already fulfilled it. Because that is what I hired them to do. Besides, you seem to be forgetting the small issue of money. Who exactly do you think is going to be paying for this second renovation? You said it yourself. I have no value to you guys anymore. And Randy just divorced me. So, yeah. We're done. You won't be getting another cent out of me. If you want another renovation, do it yourselves. Why do you think we had you pay for it in the first place? We don't have any money. You know that, don't you? You will not get away with this. Nope, that's my line. We're still not done here. Because you'll be paying me back every last cent I shelled out for the renovation. I already hired a lawyer. Some letters should be arriving in the post any day now. Have you ever been to civil court before, Jill? I suggest you make the necessary preparations. Oh, and it's not just the renovation money you'll be paying me. You'll also be paying compensation for the emotional distress you caused me.
Do not screw us around, Jessica. You have my mom's house stripped down to its goddamn frame. She's crying her eyes out here because of you. How do you sleep at night, you psycho?
Oh, hi, Randy. You're there too. What do you think of your new house? I hope you and your mom live happily ever after there.
I said don't screw me around, woman. This ain't a joke. This is our lives we're talking about here. Call the builders now.
Sure, I can give the construction company a call. But that doesn't mean they'll do anything else to the house. They did exactly as I asked them. So, as far as they and the law are concerned, the work is finished. If you want something more livable, you should probably go ahead and pay for another renovation.
You've really gone and done it this time.
Gone and done what? Exactly what you told me to? You should be more careful when you tell people to do as they please.
Is this a joke? What construction company worth their salt leaves a house looking like this? Surely they don't think this is normal.
They're professionals, Randy. Which means they do as much work as they're paid for, and not a smidgen more. If you want more work done, then you'll have to pay for it. And by you, yes, I mean you. I'm done eating into my savings for a pair of hateful ingrates like you. You're probably better off keeping a hold of your money for the time being, though. You're gonna have my compensation to think about soon. And believe me, I won't be going easy on you.
I've heard revenge stories before, huh? But who the hell takes revenge like this? You might have been mad with us, but that doesn't justify leaving my mom's house in this state. Surely you see this is going too far. How could you do this to us? This house has been in my family for generations.
If it's so important to you, you probably should have paid more attention to it. Isn't there even a teeny tiny part of you that thinks this might be your fault? And please, going too far? This is exactly what you deserve for what you did to me. If anything, I didn't go far enough. Good luck finding a new wife to live there with you. Something tells me you might have your work cut out finding someone who wants to live in a wooden frame with you. But who knows? Stranger things have happened.
You psycho bitch. You'll never get away with this. I don't know where the hell you're hiding away, but I'm gonna hunt you down, and when I find you, I'm gonna beat the living daylights out of you. I'm so glad we're getting a divorce. Screw you.
Did you just threaten me? Do you want me to bring even more charges against you? We can do criminal court as well if that's what you want. I really don't mind. It just means I get more money.
What? Hey, what? That wasn't a threat.
You're not the one who gets to decide that. Question is, did I feel threatened? I can't tell you how terrified and anxious I am right now.
No, please, stop. No more charges, okay? I'm begging you. Sorry, I didn't mean what I just said. I just got worked up and my emotions got the better of me.
Okay, I guess I'll let you off the hook. To tell you the truth, having all those trials to deal with would be a pain in the butt. But you do well to remember this. If you ever speak to me like that again, I'll press charges. No questions asked. Do I make myself clear? Well, answer me. I don't take kindly to being ignored. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah.
Insulting and threatening me should be the last thing on your mind right now. You should be getting on your knees and begging forgiveness.
Please fix the house somehow. Me and my mom can't live like this. We'll die of frostbite.
Sure you can. I have absolute faith in you both. Get some blankets or something. I know you'll be fine if you just try your best.
Try our best? You're asking us to live in a frickin' wooden frame. We have zero defenses against cold, wind, or rain. It'll be more like camping than living in a house. Sure, there's technically a roof over our heads, but I hesitate to call it that.
Okay, so finish it up yourselves? It doesn't take a genius to hammer nails into planks of wood.
Don't be so ridiculous.
Then either quit your whining, suck it up, and give living there your best shot, or find somewhere else. Either way, you're not my problem.
How many times do I have to tell you we don't have any money? How can we find anywhere else when we're broke? Not only are we broke, we're somehow gonna have to figure out a way to keep coming up with the money for the storage container with all my stuff in. It was only supposed to be for a couple days. The bottom line is we're broke, so my mom's place is all we have.
Okay, looks like you don't have a choice then.
Please, will you just hold off on the whole compensation thing? We're gonna struggle enough as it is with how things are. We'd be finished if we had compensation to deal with on top of it. It's not that we won't pay. We don't have any way of paying you at this exact point in time.
Sure, have your way. How about selling off all of your belongings and canceling your insurance plan? Or why not try thinking outside of the box? How about quitting your job and retiring early so you can give me your entire retirement fund? Can you even do that? Ugh, I don't know, and I don't care. Anyway, the point is, you have more than enough ways of coming up with my money. if you just use your head.
You're evil. How am I supposed to get by if I quit my job?
Not my problem. I don't care what happens to you as long as I get my money. You can both burn in hell for all I care.
Oh my god. Jessica, please tell me you don't really mean that.
Yes, 100%. And whose fault is it? Yours. You and your mom took me for a moron by manipulating me into fixing her house. Then you tossed me aside the moment you were done with me. That house is perfect for you now. I couldn't think of a more suitable place for a pair of scumbags like you to live. Looks like you weren't able to get your dream home or new wife after all, huh, Randy? I wish you and your darling mother the best of luck. You're gonna need living in that pile of junk. With that, the husband and mother-in-law from hell had nowhere else to go. They crept into the local garbage dump and stole some corrugated metal sheets to act as walls for their new house. Desperate to make it livable somehow. It must have worked, because last I heard, they still live there. Apparently they even have a tent now. However, it wasn't all plain sailing. They were reported to the local authority by a concerned neighbor, and subsequently told to fix it up because it was dangerous. While all that was going on, I took the two of them to civil court, intent on getting my money back. I put in claims for the renovation money and compensation. They were forced to sell all of their belongings to come up with the money. Randy also quit his job to access his retirement fund because he mistakenly thought you weren't allowed to make withdrawals from it while still working. But it turns out you are. I only said that because I didn't know. He quit his job unnecessarily because he's too much of a moron to look into anything for himself. So now not only is his retirement fund gone, but he is also unemployed. Anyway, I got my money in the end, and that's all that matters. As for the terrible two, they didn't end up losing the house, but they also couldn't afford any more renovations on it. Which means, even to this day, the home passed down their family through the generations is nothing but a sorry-looking wooden frame. Having won back all of my money, and then some, I moved back in with my parents, where I'm currently living happily while saving up again. I have no idea what exactly I'm going to spend all this money on yet. But one thing's for sure, I'm spending it on myself this time.